The last thing I want to do is to add some error lines here so that I can get an approximation of how much the gradient can vary. And so I'll go to Analyze, and I'll choose Curve Fit, and I'll choose Linear, and I'll try it. That's going to give me the same line that I've already got. But what I can do is I can slightly change the slope and the y-intercept so that it still sort of fits the data given the error lines. And it gives me a sense of how much the line can vary. So if I change this, choose this little delta sign here, and I change it so that I'm only changing it 1/100th of a unit at a time, and I'll do the same with this one. Maybe not 100th, but I'll do 5,000ths. The way that I picked those numbers, by the way, is I looked at the values here, and I don't want to change it too suddenly. So what I can do now is change the slope to make it steeper. And you can see that this little preview of the graph kind of changes as I do that. And then I can change the y-intercept to move the whole line down a bit. Oops. And then I can increase the slope some more. So I'm trying to get the line that has the steepest slope but still sort of goes through all the points. Okay, let's try that out, and I can always change it a bit more. So it looks like I made it a little bit too steep because the bottom point here is not at all included. So I can change that by, I want to slightly reduce the slope. So what happens if I do that? Okay, I'm going to need to do it a bit more than that. Here, and so that gives me a sense of the maximum error line. I also want a minimum error line, so if I just double click on this, I can change the color as well. So I'll make this one, what's a color that I like? Pink. Okay, so now that maximum error line is the pink one. And then I want to add a minimum error line as well. So I'll go to Data, Analyze, sorry, not Data, Analyze, and we go Curve Fit. Now we want to add a minimum error line. So, well, we've got the wrong graph here, so let's just click on this one again. Analyze, Curve Fit. There we go. Again, we choose Linear, Try Fit. And this time we want to decrease the slope. Oops, I haven't changed the unit that I'm going down in. Let's do that. 0.01. And we'll do that same for this one. 0.005. Okay. Now we want to decrease the slope until we get something that seems feasible. And then increase this y-intercept to move the whole line up. I think we could decrease the slope a bit more. Okay, this process is fiddly, but you need to kind of understand what I'm trying to do, which is make a line that has as different a gradient as possible, but which can still be said to go through all or almost all of the error bars. Okay, just to get an approximation of what the uncertainty in the gradient might be. Well, let's try that. Okay, so I'm just not getting it there, so I'm going to have to make it just a tiny little bit steeper. I mean, a tiny little bit less steep. But let's leave it at that. And then let's change the color of that one. What's a color that goes with pink and has a little bit of contrast? How about blue? Okay. So now we have a black line of best fit, a pink line maximum error line, and a blue minimum error line. The blue one still looks like it's a little bit too high. I think I need to move it down a little bit. So I think I need to decrease the gradient a bit. So 2.85. Okay, I'm gonna need to keep fiddling with this a little bit more. 2.109, let's see. 2.1099. It's getting closer. 2.11. That's looking pretty good. Okay. So now what we want to do is have all these lines on our graph, and we can use this to figure out the equation. And we'll do that in the next video, where we just add everything to our report. Okay, so that's a fiddly and messy process. You just need to kind of tinker with these numbers until you get a line that has a gradient that's smaller than your best fit line, and one that has a gradient that's bigger than your best fit line, and then that will give you an estimate of kind of how much the gradient can vary, and also how much the y-intercept can vary. Okay.